Okay, back with another video about what's going on outside of trucking. So y'all know, some of y'all know I'm taking some classes outside of this trucking thing. Don't know if I'm gonna finish. You know, every day I'm up and down with it, but you know, I just continue. I continue along, and here recently 50 Mile joined me because he trying to find a way out of trucking himself. And he said, man, you know, Andrew, I'm willing to learn anything to get about this industry. Lease drive over at Super Ego, you know, OTR, you know, he tired of the road, man. You know, so much time goes by. You got kids, you can't be home with your kids, you're missing birthdays, you know, you're not really getting ahead in this trucking world, you're just spinning your wheels. You're just spinning your wheels, isn't it? You're just losing life. You're not necessarily gaining anything. Your life ain't changing. You know, the money is getting funnier and funnier and funnier every year, and it's like, man, you know, at this point, I'm just living on the road. I'm just making enough to, you know, eat out the truck stop. So he like, hey, Andrew, man, you know, I see what you doing outside of trucking, man. You know, what can I do to, you know, learn whatever you trying to learn over there? So I told him, man, I said, man, go to Google and type in top paying certificates. Just type that phrase in, top paying certificates. So he typed that in. He saw a couple of certificates come up, and the one he said he wanted to go for was the Google. It's the Google cybersecurity certificate. He want to go that route. So he's taking classes, you know, as an OTR truck driver, online classes, stuff you can do from the truck. And he kind of, right now he further than me in it, because he kind of got more interest in it than I do. Me, I'm just kind of it's like a side thing. It's like if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. You know, it's just a side thing. But he got a little bit more passion than I do for it. But I'm kind of also into college too, so you know, I'm taking some college classes, and it's, you know, it ain't that interesting. Cause I'm in general education right now, and it's boring as hell. I got a U.S. history paper, man, I had to write, and this crap is based on trucking, and I'm not finna read it to you, but I kind of show y'all. How do I want to put this paper up? I don't know if it's gonna focus like this, but nah, I can't. Give me a second. Let me flip this camera. Alright, so to give y'all an idea, I gotta change the title of it. But the topic that I wrote is the predatory truck leasing practices. It's got my name on it, got the date. I had to answer some questions. So I'm not gonna read this long paragraph to y'all. Maybe I can pause and read it yourself. I still gotta go back through it and proofread it and all this stuff. I kind of made some stuff up. Like right here, I was telling a story about how I got, you know, a lease back in 2016 for $275,000, but I couldn't think of the actual name of the leasing company, so I just put SFI Leasing. And you know, I had told the story of what happened back in 2016 and all that stuff, and how the truck ended up only being worth $40,000 after 4 years, although I didn't lease for 4 years. But you know, like I said, man, this is for U.S. history. Nice and boring, man. Nice and boring. We still drive trucks on the side, but like I said, I do stuff outside of trucking also. I'm just showing y'all the papers, man. Yep. And this ain't the only paper I got to write, man. I got like 10 more papers to write for 10 different other classes. But we're slowly getting through it, man. Got my reference list. You know, I reference landline and the FMCSA, Overdrive. Oh, there you go. Overdrive. I like the Overdrive website. So, you know, we steady kind of, you know, moving along. There was nothing wrong with the trucking industry. I don't have a problem with the trucking industry. I know how to make 6 figures in the trucking industry, whether it be local, regional, or OTR. It's just I'm trying to figure out how to make 6 figures outside of trucking without having to start a business. Okay, I know how to make 6 figures in the trucking industry. As long as the trucking industry is here, we'll be alright. I'll be alright. But me and 50 miles, our goal is, okay, we know how to make 6 figures in the industry. What about out the industry, just in case something was to happen? Maybe Andrew, get drunk, DUI, lose my license. Hell, he on the SAP program. Now when you get put on the SAP program, one of my commenters said they took his license. Something like that could happen. Every day they trying to get us out the industry. Look at what they trying to do with the lease drivers, with the HR 5423. If that passed, see what I'm saying? So not trying to promote nobody to get up out of trucking. I'm just talking about what I'm doing. And this is stuff I had already talked about. Now I know I ain't been talking about the college classes, and y'all probably thought I, ain't doing it no more. I'm trying to, hang in there. I just put it like that. But for me, I'm in between cybersecurity and cloud engineering. I'm taking classes over on Amazon, online classes, learning that AWS cloud. I'm going through that. I'm on AWS Skill Builder. That's the website. Working through it, trying to get the AWS certificates. Okay. Then I got the college on the side. So I'm trying to get this, once again, if you go to Google, type in top 10 certificate, I'm after the AWS cloud certificate. Okay. 50 Mile is after the Google cybersecurity certificate. That's not the actual name, but you guys can tell which one is which. So, and I told him, I'm gonna try to go and enroll in the Google class too, and be right behind them, because I don't want to get too far. You know what I'm talking about? He called me today with a conversation. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. He had to fill me in. It's like I said, he in the classes, and he didn't kind of went far. He trying to get up out of this trucking. Mainly because he got his own family to take care of. He got kids. He trying to figure out how to get back home. Okay, if I get back home, I can't really find a local job. So what can I do outside of trucking? Forklift ain't gonna support me. Working at Walmart, Taco Bell, that stuff ain't gonna support no family, no bills, no stuff like that, man. That's gonna keep me in poverty. So what can I learn so I can go home and we ain't gotta suffer, we ain't gotta, be broke, things like that. So I can understand. So, like take Lion Daddy for example. I didn't know he was finna, I didn't know that was gonna be his last company he go to up there at the Russians. I thought he was gonna get the 7,500 and go buy a truck eventually. I didn't know, but I didn't know he was just gonna straight up quit trucking altogether and go. He claimed me a dispatcher. I ain't talked to him since he left the company. Assuming he ain't no truck driver right now. I don't know. I ain't got no update. I'm just telling you the last thing he told me. I didn't know he was gonna be gone. Now I don't know if he liking the dispatching job. Maybe he is, maybe he ain't. I don't know. But we never know when we're gonna get out of this truck. I didn't know that I was gonna be here all year this year, just working local. Just working local. I just kind of pieced stuff together in some kind of way. I just made it work. Working local. But see, while I work local, while I work as a local driver, I do stuff on the side. That's why I don't see. If you gon', in my opinion, if you gon' not be a full-time truck driver, say you wanted to go back to school, for example, you want to go back to community college and things like that, you're not gonna be able to drive the truck 70 hours a week. You're gonna have to find something local that's less hours. Maybe, for example, when I was working at Love's, because I was gonna go back to school when I was at Love's, they had the weekend position. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I believe that was a shift. If that wasn't a shift, then it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I think it was that one. I think it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I was gonna do that one. It was 40 hours a week, still get the benefits and all that. And I was gonna go to school, you know what I'm talking about? I was gonna go to school Monday through Friday. or Tuesday through Friday. You see what I'm saying? So it's things that you could do to learn other skills. And I was doing that while trucking was down. See, trucking been down for the last 2-3 years. But, you know, here recently, they passing these laws, they getting the foreigners out of here, you know, they checking these CDLs. Now the rates are starting to creep up. So in just a second, maybe starting next year, back to trucking. Back to try to, you know, back up there running, get the whole fleet going. But while it's down, okay, trucking down, let me go learn something. It's just like the oil field up and down. When the oil field went down, we left. We'll go there and pick cotton and try to, you know, get the pennies off the ground. I could be at the house doing it. I got friends back at the house now, man. I go hang out. I got people to go hang out with now. When I'm gonna sit down in the oil field, you can't even put food on the plate no more. Y'all remember me saying that? I said, man, the oil field's so rough out there, they can't even put food on the plate no more. It got so bad, they didn't even have money to go home no more. They didn't have the $400 to catch a one-way flight home. And Greyhound out there in Odessa, I don't even know if they still run that route. They had a Greyhound that came to Odessa. I don't know if they still got that route. And man, last thing you want to do be in an oil field and your last resort is Greyhound. Man, hell no. So, yeah, I'm gonna go through this paper and see what all I need to edit. And like I said, I can do all this stuff right there. I can do in the truck on my 10-hour break, or if I went to the oil field, if I had my own authority, whatever. Well, I got my own authority, but all that stuff can be done, you know, just a laptop and the internet connection. Just like 50 Mile doing. 50 Mile, he running, he had Super Ego. He running 70, not my pay. He up to 122. He running that. He got that truck rolling, moving 7 days a week, and he ain't got no laptop. He using that phone. He said, I ain't got no laptop, but I got this phone. I'ma use it like a laptop. I can still study with this phone. So, all right, y'all, man. Not trying to discourage y'all whatsoever. Let me see if there's anything else, because this is my second video for the day. What's today? Saturday? Today is Saturday. This is my theory for truck drivers. Let's just say there are truck drivers trying to find a way out the industry. This was my mindset. While I'm making 6 figures, how can I use my money to perhaps get into other fields and make 6 figures also? Like, for example, people ain't got money for, you know, for college or certificates and taking courses. They ain't got money for that because they in some other industry where, or maybe they trying to get to an industry from McDonald's, Taco Bell, and all that, and these courses are costing, like, maybe a course costs $600, for example. But they ain't got the $600 because they struggling. They trying to figure out how to make it work. But you over here, truck driver, we making $2,000-$3,000 a week, paying $600. Oh, that's all? That's all y'all want? Go to community college for a year, what, $2,000 or something? That's all? That's one check. Yeah, it's one check in trucking. You work at McDonald's? Shit, I don't know, man. Shoot, there ain't no one check. Shoot. So, somebody said if trailer rentals wasn't an option, how old of a trailer would you purchase? Would you care about 10 years or newer? I'm assuming you're talking about a drive-in or a reefer. Yeah, if I couldn't rent trailers, then yeah, I would try to buy the absolute newest trailer I could find for the lowest. You know, obviously I would have a budget. Y'all know I don't spend much on equipment, so the highest I done spent on some equipment was $24,000. That was for the Classic, so that'd be the maximum budget. And if I spend $24,000 on a trailer, and we in 2025, I'm looking for a 2022 or something, 2023. But I don't buy trailers no more because I can just rent brand new trailers. I'm talking about easy, guys. Very easy. For me to get a drive-in brand new, I just go on Repower. That's it. I don't have no reason to buy a trailer. I go on Repower, I can get a brand new trailer. I only pay for it the days I use it. And when I'm not using it, I don't have to pay for storage. I don't have to pay somebody $300 a month for storage. I just go park it right there in Fleet Equipment. They pay for storage. They pay for the commercial lot. They pay the property tax. Same thing with the reefer trailers. I just go to Super Ego. We go to Super Ego, brand new trailers, or fairly used. I just pay for the days I use them. When I ain't using them, I drop them back off at Super Ego. Same thing with the flatbed trailers, Fleet Equipment. That's just me. You know, I didn't have that option back in the day, but with the authority, that's our new options, and we getting more and more options unlocked for us. In just a second, they finna allow us to have brand new trucks. I just pay for them the days I use them. When we ain't use them, run that crap back over to Pimpski. You know, the trucking is constantly changing. The world is constantly changing. Like I said, we didn't have all these options back in the day. Back in the day, we had to go and buy our own trailer, buy our own truck. Unless you had, 3 years in business, with all this business credit and 800 credit score and all this other stuff, then you can go to Fleet Equipment. Matter of fact, go on Fleet Equipment website and look, just look at their requirements to lease a truck. Lease a trailer. Just go look at their requirements. Can you, with all them requirements they got, can you get a trailer from them? I can't. But you know what I can do? Get on Repower and get a trailer from them that way. See, it's a loophole. It's a loophole. You know what the only requirement is on Repower? My debit card. I go on now. It's so silly, bro. I done showed y'all before. Just go on Repower and look for yourself, okay? I don't get sponsored by them people. See, even I lease equipment. Even if HR 20, what is it, 5423, if that pass, of course it ain't gonna affect me because I'm not leasing equipment. I'm not leasing equipment from a carrier, I guess you could say. I am a carrier, so that didn't make sense, but you guys get the idea. Any other questions before I roll up out here? Tomorrow I gotta run by the truck and turn some wrenches. Andrew, man, you gotta turn some wrenches? Yeah, I'm gonna take the alternator belt off and put a brand new belt on and make content out of it. Something to do. Tomorrow's Sunday. Something to do. Maybe pretend like the truck won't start or something. To make Josh feel better or something. But I feel like trucking is starting to pick up. I'm definitely seeing signs of trucking picking up. I think the money is starting to increase. Right now I'm in between picking up this reefer or going back to the oil field. I'm in between both right now. Listening to the reefer drivers on the internet, and then I'm listening to the oil field drivers. I don't know which one I want to do. Me personally, I don't want to do any type of OTR, but I can get paid so much faster doing OTR. I get paid after every load. The oil field, I had to lease on with somebody, but the money is still there to lease on, but it's weekly pay. But it's local, less miles, and I can continue doing what I'm doing on the side as far as schooling goes. OTR, I don't know, man. I get burnt out too fast. I went out there and worked a week of OTR and turned around and came back home. Be honest with you, man. I don't know, man. That OTR, man. It just, I was never, interested in OTR. Like I told y'all, man, I stopped doing OTR back in 2016. I ain't been interested since. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyways, man, that's all for this one, man. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think.